Assalamu alaikum, bismillah. So I'm continuing this multi-part discussion on Islam versus capitalism, Islam versus libertarianism, and I want to throw something in here because, I mean, my degree is in economics. Alhamdulillah, I've studied enough of Islam to have at least a cursory knowledge of it, okay? But I've shown here from Quran, from Hadith, from Islamic history, and then from reality, okay? Islam, the morals of Islam and the laws of Islam are opposed to capitalism, okay? Capitalism is a cruel, corrupt, destructive, deadly system, and I've shown that it is behind 90% of the problems that we see. My dear brothers and sisters, you have a huge problem in the Muslim community, okay? So few of you have actually studied Allah's Deen to actually know what Islam teaches or doesn't, okay? And we see this every day, okay? If you follow any of the actual scholars in the community, okay, constantly talking about Muslims who don't study Islam, but every Muslim has a mouthful of opinions, okay? And spreading opinions through social media. Islam is not based on your opinions. Okay, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says it is Deen el-Haqq, it is the Deen of truth. Truth means facts. It doesn't mean opinions. Okay, no human being will even be asked your opinion Yawm al-Qiyamah at all, okay? You will not be judged by opinions. You are judged by facts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created a universe of facts. Allah created a human being of facts. And Allah has given us a deen of facts. And in deen, it is required to discover and follow facts, whether you like it or not, okay? And so, like so many other things in the Muslim community, some garbage gets started and it just spreads like fire, and it's all over the place. This is a deadly mistake when we're talking about people who favor capitalism or think that capitalism is fine or that capitalism is even Islamic. There's so many stupid, ill-informed Muslims who believe this. But then in recent years, you know, this fad of, you know, subscribing to libertarianism, okay? Guys, look through this, okay, and give me a break, all right? Libertarianism is, I mean, it's the brother of fascism, okay? The idea that libertarianism makes people free is a lie, okay? Fascists and libertarians and capitalists don't give a damn about human freedom. They show that every single day. They want their freedom to do whatever the hell they want without penalty. That's all it's about, okay? The rule in Islam is you either know the facts of what the hell you're talking about or you stay silent. That's it, okay? So, you know, why I incorporated this education on economics and understanding enough Western history and enough Western philosophy to understand how things work, because we have to be able to apply Islam, okay, in the world we're living in, the world that Allah has given us, whether it's an Islamic system or not, okay? An example of that is, you know, voting when you can, when you should, you know, whom you should vote for, what policies you should vote for, what kind of candidate you should vote for. And, you know, I mean, just 20 years ago, you had Muslims voting Republican, you know? And then most Muslims abandoned that and started voting, Democrat. Well, I mean, if you're supporting someone like Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama, these people were horrible criminals. So you can't just blindly subscribe to the party just because they're, pretend to be in opposition to Republicans, because I've shown you they're almost identical. Anyway, so getting a little bit back into how capitalism actually operates is that once a capitalist enterprise has gotten into the market, monopolized it, controlled it, okay, you have what is called in economic studies barriers to entry. Okay, and I mentioned in one of these sessions that, okay, if you wanted to start a business making shoes, okay, you could not come up with enough money to break into that market. It is controlled by Nike, Adidas, okay, etc. Okay, that is a barrier to entry. And part of it is their monopolization of the technology. Okay? That's extremely hard to break. Okay? And having, it's just so ridiculous. One of the facts that libertarian just fails on, okay? How can you say that there is even an existence of freedom, okay, or free enterprise when that system that you claim to believe in has built itself up to a point that you can't be free? And you can't you can't start your own enterprise. You can't, okay? These monopolies on technology, okay? And this is a serious, serious, serious problem, all right? It is not only that corporations control very serious technology. I mean, honestly, just like the internet, okay? Well, we say, well, we all have access to the internet, okay? The control of it is entirely in the hands of corporations like Google, Facebook, etc., okay? And then the politicians who are owned and controlled by these technology companies, okay? You can't, and we're like in very serious trouble. I mean, when you look at where is the concentration of military technology, okay? When fascism broke out the last time, okay, you could be a farmer with a rifle and put up serious resistance to a Nazi with a machine gun. Okay, go watch the movie Defiance. Okay, because that's basically what that film was about. You couldn't do that today. Okay, I mean, how many people have body armor, night vision technology, machine guns, grenades, armored vehicles? Okay, so when fascism breaks out, all the power of all this technology and the ability to spy on you and surveillance and tracking you and this and that, you're screwed. And it was done by capitalism, okay? So I'm going to close this face cam window and just get back into, Robert Reish's tweets from a few days ago where I started out the talk, and it's just showing this is capitalism in the news. It's in the everyday news, okay? So I'm going to shut this, hopefully. All right, there we go. All right. So Robert Reish asking, why are billionaires making so much money during a pandemic and during, a very serious economic recession. So he says, this is how, and this is capitalism. It's just the norm, the everyday operation of capitalism, okay? Exploiting monopolies, okay? Getting insider information, bribing politicians, okay, for more tax cuts and government handouts, okay? Extorting their investors, living off of parents' wealth, okay? I had discussed just in the last session where I was just talking about capitalism in the news, the $6 trillion government handout, okay, that is welfare for the rich, welfare for the corporations. And without it, okay, capitalism would collapse and die, and we would have socialism. Okay, we would have a people-powered and people-controlled system of economy and system of life. Okay, so don't be fooled. Don't continue falling for this. Okay, we're in very serious, dire circumstances. Okay, and it's obligatory on a Muslim to discover truth and to listen to truth and to leave opinions out of it. Just look objectively, okay, listen to people talking to you, showing you things, whether initially you may not like it, you may totally disagree with it, you might hate it. But if it's the truth, okay, that truth is going to be against you, Yom al-Qiyamah. You always, as a Muslim, have to pick the side of truth and facts. That is obligatory. That is what Islam is about. Okay? So go through all of this and listen very closely. This is an education, guys. Okay? And this is my field. Okay? Capitalism and libertarianism are not in the approval of Allah's Deen. Okay? They are, okay, directly opposed. Islam is a moral system of life. Okay? And capitalism and libertarianism result in things repeatedly that are in direct opposition and violation of the objectives of Sharia. Okay? The 5 main objectives being the preservation of Deen, which means the preservation of morality also. Okay? And the preservation of a merciful and humane life. That's what the preservation of Deen is. The preservation of human life. Capitalism isn't doing that. Capitalism is destroying human life right here, right now. Okay? The preservation of the human mind. I'm going to go into, in other sessions, how capitalism, it distorts reality, and it is the direct cause of so much mental illness in society. Okay? The preservation of family and, children. Okay? Capitalism is destroying that. It's in the process of destroying it. It has been. Okay? It's just that people don't look at it and say, that's what capitalism does. Okay? And the preservation of actual wealth, which is really the root of wealth, is the resources on earth. Okay? Capitalism destroys that. It destroys it every day. And you've got all the sciences on earth saying, okay, we're killing it. We're killing life on earth. Okay? You can't tell me that Islam approves of that so that some people can have their freedom to get rich. That's garbage, guys. Okay? Y'all, assalamu alaikum.